Imagine this. You're scrolling through your favorite news site when a video catches your eye. It's Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, sitting in a well-lit studio, passionately discussing a groundbreaking investment opportunity that's making everyday people rich. The ticker reads, "Exclusive, Jeff Bezos reveals secret to massive wealth." Intrigued, you click play, unaware that this single action could lead to financial ruin. This is the story of Tom. Hi, I want to share my story to prevent others from falling into the same trap I did. It all started on a typical Wednesday evening. I was unwinding after work, browsing through news articles, when I stumbled upon a video featuring Jeff Bezos. He was endorsing a new cryptocurrency platform called Quantum AI. The platform promised high returns with minimal risk, and seeing Bezos' apparent endorsement gave it an air of legitimacy. The video was convincing. Bezos spoke about how this platform was the future of investments, allowing ordinary people to amass wealth quickly. There were clips of users sharing their success stories, showing off luxurious cars and exotic vacations. It felt like a golden opportunity that I didn't want to miss. I clicked on the link provided, which led me to a sleek website filled with testimonials and media coverage. The registration process was straightforward. I entered my details and was soon contacted by a financial advisor named Mark. He was friendly, knowledgeable, and assured me that I was making a smart decision. Mark explained that the minimum investment was $250. I was hesitant at first, but he emphasized that this was a limited-time offer and that early investors were reaping significant profits. He even showed me a live dashboard of the platform, highlighting real-time earnings of other investors. Feeling a mix of excitement and pressure, I decided to invest the $250. Within days, my account showed a profit of $100. Mark congratulated me and suggested that I reinvest the earnings along with an additional $500 to maximize returns. He painted a picture of financial freedom, and I was hooked. Each time I logged into the platform's dashboard, I saw my account balance climbing. $1,000 became $2,000, then $5,000, and it felt like I was on a rocket ship heading straight to the moon. My mind started drifting into fantasies of paying off credit card debt, replacing my old car, maybe even surprising my parents with a long overdue vacation. And every time I checked in with Mark, he was calm and confident, telling me that my best move was to keep going, to invest more to see bigger returns. We spoke frequently, sometimes late at night or early in the morning. He'd call and say something like, "I just got off a call with our analysts. They predict the market's about to skyrocket. It's a golden opportunity. If you have any extra funds, now's the time." His timing was impeccable because these calls often coincided with me checking my dashboard and seeing that I'd made yet another chunk of profit. It was like he knew exactly when to strike. Each conversation ended with me feeling more confident in him and in the platform. After a few weeks of watching my profits rise, I decided to withdraw a small amount, maybe just to treat myself to a fancy dinner or a new gadget. After all, that's one of the perks of making money, right? But when I initiated the withdrawal process on the platform, I got a pop-up message stating I needed to pay a processing fee upfront. That was odd. I'd never heard of a legitimate investment platform that required an upfront fee for a withdrawal. Alarm bells started ringing in my head. Still, I'd grown to trust Mark. I called him, and he brushed it off, saying it was standard procedure and that the fee would be refunded once the withdrawal was processed. I wasn't entirely comfortable with this, but the profit numbers on the screen were so high by this point that it felt like a drop in the bucket to pay a few $100s to unlock those thousands. Desperate to keep the momentum going and eager to finally see real cash in my bank account, I swallowed my doubts and paid the fee. Days passed, and I waited, no withdrawal. Mark continued to reassure me that everything was just delayed due to high transaction volume or technical maintenance. Each excuse sounded plausible enough, especially when I was already in so deep. After about 2 weeks of waiting, I began to panic. I tried calling Mark, but he didn't answer. I sent him multiple emails and text messages, but they went unanswered. The once vibrant platform dashboard started glitching, sometimes refusing to load at all. When it did load, I noticed suspicious changes in my account balance. It was fluctuating in bizarre ways, sometimes even showing negative amounts. Then one day, I couldn't access the site at all. I felt my stomach drop, like I just missed a step on a staircase. That's when I started frantically searching online for any information about this platform. Scrolling through chat forums and consumer protection sites, I found multiple warning posts calling it a scam. Some people described losing even more money than I had. It quickly became clear I'd fallen for a sophisticated con. The realization that all my interactions, all my profits, and even the reassuring voice on the other end of the phone might have been part of an elaborate ruse left me feeling hollow and foolish. It hit me. I had invested well over $10,000 by that point. Money I'd scraped together over years of saving, money I'd planned to use for a down payment on a home, or maybe to start a small side business. Gone. Just like that. And there was no recourse. I reached out to the authorities and filed a complaint, but I soon learned the harsh truth. These scammers often operate offshore, using fake names, deepfake videos of celebrities, and advanced software to hide their tracks. Recovering my money was unlikely. My heart sank to depths I didn't know existed. The emotional toll was staggering. I felt humiliated, as though I'd been parading around town wearing a sign that said, "Easy Target." I avoided social gatherings because I didn't want to face the questions, or worse, the pity. My friends and family had warned me about get-rich-quick schemes, and now I had to admit they were right. But how could I have known it was this intricate? They used Jeff Bezos' face and voice. Later, I learned about deepfake technology and how it can make anyone appear to endorse anything. It's terrifying. Suddenly, the ground I stood on felt shaky, and I questioned every advertisement, every phone call, every email promising a shortcut to wealth. For weeks, I was depressed. My finances were shattered, and so was my pride. Every time I looked at my bank statements, a surge of anger, regret, and self-blame washed over me. I replayed every conversation with Mark, every encouraging word he said. How had I let him trick me so completely? It was a brutal lesson in vulnerability. The dream of financial freedom had made me ignore the little red flags, the too good to be true vibe, the push for more money, the suspicious withdrawal fees. Eventually, though, I realized I had a choice. I could wallow in shame and anger, or I could pick myself up, learn from this disaster, and move forward. It wasn't an easy choice, but it was the only one that made sense if I ever wanted to heal. I started reading up on online scams, educating myself so I wouldn't fall for something like this again. I spoke to cybersecurity experts, filed police reports, and even joined online forums where scam victims share their stories to help educate others. That's when I decided to speak out. I recorded a short video on my phone, just me, talking about what happened, how I was deceived, and what others should watch out for. I posted it on social media, not really expecting much. To my surprise, it resonated with people. I received messages from all over the world, some from victims who had also been scammed, some from curious folks who had almost fallen for a similar scheme, but recognized the warning signs thanks to my story. What I realized is this: scammers rely on our desire for something better, whether it's more money, less debt, or a chance at an easier life. They exploit that vulnerability with well-crafted illusions. Deepfakes, polished websites, official-sounding phone calls. It's a whole industry of deception, and it's getting more sophisticated by the day. My biggest takeaway is to never let desperation override critical thinking. That little voice in my head that warned me this might be too good to be true, I should have listened. Yes, I lost $10,000, and that stings. It set me back financially, forcing me to downsize certain aspects of my life while I clawed my way back to stability. But if there's one silver lining, it's that this experience lit a fire in me. I've become almost obsessively cautious. Now, before I invest or purchase anything online, I research, I read reviews, I look up company registrations, and I question every claim. It's not the carefree way I used to approach life, but it's necessary in a world where technology can be used to fabricate almost anything. So here I am, sharing my story, hoping that my loss might save someone else from falling into the same trap. If you've ever been tempted by an ad promising unthinkable returns, or if someone calls you out of the blue claiming they've found a golden opportunity, pause, breathe, and do your homework. Think about why they need your money in the first place if the opportunity is so amazing. Remember, it's not about being gullible or unintelligent. Scammers are experts at manipulation. They're playing a psychological game that's been perfected over years of practice. Don't let them win. I may not get my money back, but I refuse to let this scam define me. It's a painful chapter, but also a turning point. I share my cautionary tale with anyone who will listen, because at the end of the day, awareness is the best defense we have. Let my misfortune be your lesson. If something feels too good to be true, trust your instincts. Better to miss out on a risky opportunity than to watch your hard-earned money vanish into thin air. I wish I had understood that sooner, but maybe, just maybe, my story can help someone else avoid the same fate. Subscribe to stay informed about all the new scam methods. Together, we can fight them with information and help others stay alert.